Hello everyone! So today we're going to be going over the design origins behind the starters from Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, and then I'm also going to go through all of the different ways I believe their evolutions can go from here. So let's dive straight in. So starting off, we have Sprigatito, the capricious and attention-seeking grass cat Pokemon. The name origin most likely comes from sprig, which is a small stem that bears leaves or flowers, and gatito, which is Spanish for little cat. Sprigatito looks to be influenced by the Iberian lynx, evident through the shape of the ears and also the tufts of fur to the side of the face. Given that the lynx has mythological ties to being psychic, it is possible that a future evolution could follow a lynx sage who reads tea leaves, making Sprigatito grass psychic if this was to happen. However, outside of the lynx connection, the design of Sprigatito's eyes and neck could be leading to a more Bandito evolution. The pattern on the eyes already seems like a mask, and the leaves under the chin look like the clasp of a cloak. So it is possible that these extend out to a cloak, mask, and hat, aka Puss in Boots or Zorro. Given the prehistoric pattern that past grass starters have followed, I am personally hoping that it turns into a saber-toothed tiger and remains on all fours. I think a Zorro tiger could be pretty badass. With this Bandito motive in mind, I believe a possible theme for these final evolutions could be treasure. Banditos in the 16th century would descend from the mountains to rob gold convoys. They would then give some of their spoils to the people like Robin Hood. Now, also with this treasure theme in mind, if they were to go the more grass psychic Iberian lynx line, then it was also like oracles and fortune tellers that would help people along their journey to seek gold. They would be used to like predict the weather and all that type of stuff. So either of those evolutions still fit into that theme of treasure. Now, if the evolution does have to stand on 2 feet, which is a common occurrence with their starter lines, then I hope it looks like the following design by axelgalay_art on Instagram. This design perfectly encompasses the Zorro design and even makes a tail a sword with the guard looking like a flower. Overall, my final prediction is that this starter would be grass fighting. Next, we have Fukuoka, the laid-back firecroc Pokemon that does things at its own pace. The name most likely comes from fuego, which is Spanish for fire, and cocodrilo, which is Spanish for crocodile. The overall design have a lot of people thinking about an apple, with the white face being what an apple looks like when you cut it in half, or the more common association being a chili pepper. With the chili pepper in mind, the common theory is that the final evolution would be fire ghost due to ghost peppers. There is also some tie into the myth residing around Coco, a monster that would steal children. Personally, I believe that the design is going to be based around the Culebre, which is a serpent dragon that was said to guard treasure and only move when it came out to eat livestock or attack humans. If we have a look at the wood carving of the Culebre by Lise, we can see a lot of Fukuoka's design in the artwork. The small tuft of hair at the top of the head resembles a tuft of feathers seen on Culebre's head. The overall face shape mimics that of the Culebre, and the head shape in the carving looks like a skull. There is also the leg design of Fukuoka. If you have a look at Snivy, it kind of has a similar design pattern when it comes to its legs, and as we know, that evolves into Superior, which is a snake. Now, this serpent idea does allow for the starter evolution to follow the Chinese zodiac theory, which is the idea that all of the fire starters have in some way or form resembled certain animals of the Chinese zodiac. Bromo Jumbo on Twitter has done an amazing rendition of what this evolution line could look like if it did follow the Culebre. And honestly, I think it is one of the better Pokemon design for the Gen 9 starters that I've seen so far. They even predicted it might be Fire Fairy, which goes with my own thoughts as well. Now, you're most likely thinking that it would be Fire Dragon, which is possible too. However, one of the characteristics of the Culebre is that its spit is said to turn into a magical stone that can be used to cure ailments, and also they were known for kidnapping fairies and holding them prisoner. Now, the fire elements could also come from the fact that to kill a Culebre, you would put like a hot stone in its mouth. So that's another way that it can be fire and fairy without even having to tie into the dragon element. Now, to fit it in with the themes of treasure that I mentioned before, well, it guards the treasure. So when you're going on a quest for treasure, you normally have those that are trying to steal from you, and then you have those who are trying to guard it. So that is how that would tie in if that is going to be the theme. But overall, I believe it's going to be based off the Culebre, and I believe Fukuoka is going to be Fire Fairy. Last but not least, we have Quaxley, the earnest and tidy duckling. The name origin for Quaxley is trickier than the others. It is clear to see that the quacks comes from quack, which is the sound a duck makes, but the end there, the XLY, it doesn't really have an obvious connection. Given that Quaxley is said to be tidy and gives off vibes of being on a sailor, I believe the XLY could come from chivalry, with the X symbolizing a crossing of blades, which was a common gesture done throughout the ages amongst men of honor. The hair on Quaxly's head is similar to that of a sailor cap. So similar, in fact, that people have started to call him Donald Duck. Now, whilst I do believe that there is a clear sailor vibe in this design, I believe that the hair is more resembling of a common hat worn by famous Spanish explorers. The color of the feet would be inspired by the blue-footed booby, which is a marine bird, and teal is also the color of sea glass and can also be representative of the ocean in certain light. All of these just lend to Quaxly being related to the sea in more ways than just being a duck. Given the color palette, it is possible that Quaxly's final evolution could take elements from the Flying Dutchman, which is a pirate tale about a ghost ship that roams the oceans and takes the souls of any ship that it is to board. If you have seen Pirates of the Caribbean, the concept is represented heavily throughout the later movies. The stance of Quaxly also reminds me of a pirate who is holding onto their sheath sword, kind of ready to unleash it at a moment's notice. Apart from being semi-aquatic, water starters have a tendency to follow ancient Japanese weapons. Now, Japanese pirates in the 16th century were made up of ronin. Now, ronin would still carry their katana even though they weren't still seen as proper samurai. Now, this could mean that the design of Quaxly, and like I previously mentioned with the stance, could be heavily inspired by like a sturdy blade or quick and decisive action. As for the theme of treasure, well, they're pirates. Doodletime_ on Twitter has done this amazing artwork of what a ghost-inspired pirate duck could look like. And they even done a middle evolution, which I think is pretty cool as well. You can see how the hat slowly morphs into a pirate hat, and even the wave that was on the previous Quaxly design slowly morphs into that of an anchor. It is possible that a design like this could be water steel, or maybe even water fighting. There's a lot of different ways you could tie in pirates into the Pokemon typings. However, if they do go with this Flying Dutchman route, which I personally think would be really cool, then I'm going to stick to my final prediction of Water Ghost. Okay, so there we have it. So that's all of the Pokemon starters that are coming in Gen 9, so Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. And personally, I'm going to probably be leaning more towards Quaxly. I like the idea of it becoming a pirate. Even if it doesn't become a pirate and it becomes like a Spanish conquistador, which was like an explorer soldier in Spain, I think that's pretty cool as well. I do know that a lot of people are excited for Fukuoka. And for once, or at least in the last couple of generations, Sprigatito, the grass Pokemon, seems to be kind of like the second runner-up. So my boy Quaxly might not be the most liked, but it is possible that it gets the best evolution. And I do know a lot of people that change their minds based off the final evolution. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be leaning towards. Let me know what you personally are going to be choosing in the comments below. And also, if there's any type of information I've missed out on or any theories you've heard about the Pokemon starters, drop that in the comments as well, because I would love to read over that and also discuss it with you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and like always, if you are enjoying my content, please leave a like and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that when new videos like this go live, you will be notified. And I will catch you all in the next one. Cheers!